Hello, and today I'm going to show you how to do the shortcut gourmet donuts. So essentially, if you're working with all the other students that are in your period for Golden Bowl, you can probably get through this in a fast amount of time. If you divide up and work in partners, it might take you about 2 days. So essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be exploring 6 flavors of gourmet donuts, all right? And we are going to use what's called the shortcut method, and a lot of bakeries do this. So just for the sake of time and consistency and quality and quantity, we are going to be buying, at this point, pre-made donuts, all right? So we'll be buying them from our bulk food supplier. We will be buying cake donuts and or yeast donuts. All right, so cake donuts are more of a cake texture, crumbly, and yeast donuts have more of a chew to them, kind of like a pizza dough. All right, and you can do these gourmet flavors. We're going to introduce you to 6, and obviously as the semester goes on, you and the people you are working with can maybe incorporate different flavors and different mixtures, etc. All right. So I am going to show you, and I learned this actually working at a bakery. So that's why we decided to go with this method because you can be really creative. So the 6 options you're going to be exploring is cookies and cream. So with that, we'll be using a vanilla donut icing. This is it. It's called Vanilla Heat and Ice. It's really good, and this is exactly what most bakeries will use to decorate donuts and or cookies. Okay, and they don't make it from scratch. So we're going to be buying that pre-made. We microwave it. We'll dip the donut, and then we'll put our toppings. For our cookies and cream, we'll be using Oreos. So for this demo, I just got Oreo minis. Your teacher might get you bigger Oreos because if that's the flavor. Our goal is right now for this exploration, you're looking at 6 flavors. We probably will incorporate different flavors as we sell the donuts. We'll only be selling donuts 1 day a week. All right. So for this, you'll be using Oreos. You will be crushing them up. You need about 2 tablespoons. Okay. So that's cookies and cream. The next flavor you'll be exploring, and I'll show you how to do all this. The next flavor you're going to be doing is Reese's Peanut Butter Surprise. So essentially you will be using the same vanilla icing, but now we're going to flavor it with peanut butter. Okay. So it's essentially, we are going to be making a peanut butter icing. To decorate that, we will be garnishing it with Reese's peanut butter cups. Again, I got the minis. You might get the regular ones or even, the fun size. You'll chop them up and that will be your garnish. Okay. The next option that we are going to be doing is our Fruity Pebbles cereal donuts. And obviously, we can go with other cereals. We just wanted something with color. So again, the vanilla heat and ice. Okay. We'll be keeping that as vanilla, and then we'll be putting Fruity Pebbles on the top. Again, this is something we can do different cereals as the time goes on. All right, but you're going to try that for this exploration. Now, option 4 and 5. Option 4 we'll be using. So we have vanilla heat and ice, and they also sell a chocolate. Okay, so for option 4, you are going to be doing chocolate frosting. And then we'll be doing sprinkles. Okay, so it's more of a traditional. For this demo, I have a large amount of chocolate sprinkles. When we sell them in the Golden Bowl, we'll be doing, for October. And when we sell the donuts, we'll probably do like a light in color, yellow and blue sprinkle mix. And then for each season, we'll incorporate different colored sprinkles if we go with that. You'll also be doing a vanilla traditional. Okay, so vanilla frosting with the sprinkles as well. And then the last one is going to be our turtle, which we will be using chocolate heat and ice. We'll be using crushed pecans, and then we'll be drizzling with caramel and chocolate. All right, so let's get started. So you're going to have 6 donuts. If you do this all together, it would go way faster. Obviously, you're going to prep all your toppings, which I have done. So I'm just going to show you. I've prepped all my toppings, okay? And now I'm going to get my donuts. Okay, so get your toppings ready first. Kind of divide up. We kind of delegated designated, about a quarter cup of frosting for each donut. It might be a little less, but you're going to have to heat it up. You're only making one of each flavor. If we were doing this for mass quantities, we'd probably be making about 15 to 20 donuts to sell. So you would be heating up a lot more. You'll have a bulk recipe for that. Okay. So you're going to need a tray lined with parchment paper. All right. And then here's how, these are the cake donuts. So the cake donuts come just like this. They come frozen. So I defrosted them. And this is obviously, you can see how nice they all look. We could do homemade donuts, but they take a long time. And then we don't have as much time to focus on fun flavors. And these were made by a machine, obviously. So they all look nice and consistent. When we fry our own donuts or bake our own donuts, they're not as consistent. All right. So the first flavor I'm going to be doing is our cookies and cream. All right. So what you're going to want to do is I put about a quarter cup of this vanilla heat and ice in a shallow bowl. All right. And then I'm going to grab a plate, just put my spoon on. All right. And essentially you want it to be, you want to be able to dip the donut in there and have the frosting stick. All right. If you let it sit, it's like kind of like a vanilla glaze. Essentially, it hardens up. So this is a little crisp. So I'm going to put it in the microwave for about 10 seconds. Okay. Now it will burn. So you got to be really, really, really careful. All right. As that is heating, I'm just going to grab my Oreos. So here are my Oreos that I have crushed up, about 2 tablespoons. We're going to designate per donut. Okay. So you only need to cut, 2 tablespoons because you're only making one of the flavors. All right. So as you see, I am wearing gloves. It's really important when you're doing this, you're wearing gloves just for consistency. All right. So we're keeping it as basic vanilla. All right. This is the bottom of the donut. All right. So we're going to take it just like so. Okay. I'm going to dip. I'm going to drizzle some of it off. Okay. So there is our frosted donut. So you see, I used a quarter cup. I didn't really need it all. That's fine. Then I'm going to flatten out my Oreos and I'm going to press them into the donut. All right. Just like so. So there is our cookies and cream donut. Now, if you decide like this is kind of basic, you could probably take, you can take another Oreo and kind of garnish it on the top just so it's showing exactly what it is. All right, so I'm just going to take my Oreo and I'm going to put a little frosting on the side. I'm going to put that right in the center. So then you can see that it's an Oreo donut. Okay. If you want to come up with your own signature garnish to it, that's totally fine. Whatever you and your partners decide. All right. So that is the first one. So the next one we're going to be doing is our Reese's peanut butter surprise. All right. So I'm going to take a quarter cup. I'm just going to use the same one. All right. This is going to be flavored. This is the only one that's using peanut butter. So I just want to put it into perspective for you. So I'm going to take about a quarter cup, heated it up. I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Okay. Just like so. And then I'm going to stir that in. All right. And you want it to become one. All right, so we're essentially, like I said, we are making a peanut butter frosting. Okay, now see, you can get super creative. I can make a caramel frosting. You can make a fruit flavored frosting. So you can really get creative with your flavors. Okay, I didn't incorporate like a marble just because obviously that's a basic one also, but we have the traditional sprinkle. So, as we start selling these, if the donuts are popular, we can really, incorporate different flavors. Okay, so this is all pretty much mixed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this in the microwave for another about 10 seconds just to make sure that I can dip it. All right. As that is heating, just a recap, I am using these Reese's Minis, all right? And I chopped up my Reese's peanut butter cups. Okay, so that is my garnish. All right, so I'm just gonna give it one more mix. All right, nice and beautiful. It smells delicious. All right, so here we go. So you're gonna take that next donut. And I'm just going to dip it just like I did my vanilla for the cookies and cream. Okay. Dab it off. Put that frosting off to the side. And now I'm going, just like before, press it in. And just make sure you're moving that around. All right. And then what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to take chocolate drizzle and I'm just going to go over the top. And then I'm going to take a Reese's peanut butter cup, just like the other one. I'm going to set it right in the middle. All right. So there's our cookies and cream and our peanut butter cup. All right. Now, we're a little hesitant about the peanut butter one. People really like peanut butter, but some people are allergic to it. So we have to be very conscientious. Okay. We're never going to be selling two flavors at the same time, at least not at the beginning, just because we don't want to, throw too many curveballs. So we might sell two flavors at once, maybe just focus on one for the month of October. But if you do work with the peanut butter, after you're done doing the peanut butter, you need to switch your gloves. Okay. Just because we don't want any food allergen switches, etc. All right. So the next one we are going to be doing is our cereal. We're using Fruity Pebbles. All right. And I am going to, because I have peanut butter in my other one, I have a new quarter cup. I'm just going to put this in the microwave for 10 seconds. All right. And you can crush up the Fruity Pebbles, or because they're small anyways, you can leave them whole. And like I said, as time goes on, if you want to, you and the group decides like, oh, we want to do different cereal flavors, no problem. Just let your teacher know. We are trying to make sure we're keeping everything consistent across campuses. So we'll just make sure East and West is selling the same, just because teachers travel and they'll say they have it at this campus, but not at this campus. So we want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. So I'm going to take my donut, press it in just like so. We can also obviously sell a donut like this, but why be basic, right? Why be basic? So I'm going to take my dipped donut and I'm just going to press it on my cereal, just like so. Make sure it's all in there. You want to make sure there's a lot. And then as that frosting cools, it will harden a little bit. Not super hard. It's very chewy, but it will, it's like a glaze. All right. So we're done with that one. All right. So now you can see my 3. All right. So now we're going to go with our basic traditional vanilla with sprinkles. So I'm just using chocolate sprinkles. Again, plan on using a variety. All right. So I am going to go like this when it's all nice and wet. Okay. So vanilla again. And then you're going to press it into the sprinkles. We want a lot of sprinkles. All right. If you just sprinkle them on, you're only going to get a little. We want a lot. Okay. So you can kind of see how I did that. All right. Now we're switching gears. Now I'm going to be using my chocolate glaze. All right. So the chocolate one, I'm going to it is a lot softer texture than the vanilla. I kind of like working with the chocolate one a little bit better. So I'm just going to put this in the microwave for another about 10 seconds. All right. So here are, you're probably like drooling over these because they look delicious. You can see how nice and simple this is. And you're probably like, that's kind of cheating. It's really not, because they're getting, they're only going to spend $1 or $2 on this donut. And if they were to get a gourmet donut like this at a bakery, they're not making them from scratch either. And they are just adding these twists to it. And they're charging like $3, $4, $5, $6, especially for the gourmet flavors. Okay. So here is our chocolate donut, our chocolate glazed donut. And then I'm going to press it in our sprinkles. So this is very chocolatey, the chocolate sprinkles. And then it will set up. Okay. And then our last one, which I think is going to be a huge fan favorite, is going to be our turtle. So typically you could do a caramel icing or chocolate icing, but I want to glaze with chocolate and caramel. So I figured let's do a base of chocolate, but you can experiment if you want. All right. So I'm going to take my last donut for my turtle. All right. And I'm just going to dip it off the side. Okay. Put that off to the side. I'm going to do this one on a plate so you get the idea. All right. And then, so it's kind of setting before I dip it in, before I put any of my nuts on that, I am actually going to drizzle it with caramel. Okay. So I want a lot of caramel. So I'm going back and forth. All right. So you can see yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. So it is a chocolate caramel mix. Then I'm going to take my nuts. I'm not pressing them on just because I don't want it to be too much because I'm putting chocolate and caramel now again on the top. Okay. So I'm going to take my chocolate first, drizzle. And then the opposite direction, I am going to go with the caramel. All right. Just like so. And then you would take a whole nut and you can put it in the center or you can leave it as is. All right, so there is, we've let this set up, obviously. So here are our 6 different flavors that you're going to be experimenting with. Cookies and cream. We have our peanut butter surprise. We have our traditional vanilla sprinkle, our cereal fruity pebble topped donut with vanilla icing. We have our chocolate icing with sprinkles, and then we have our turtle. All right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to be sharing these 6 donuts, either with your partner or with the people that you worked with, everyone in the class. All right. So what we have attached is because we want your feedback is you are going to be doing a gourmet donut taste test. Okay. So you're going to be tasting each donut. Okay. You're just tasting it. So you're just going to cut it into like 4 or 5 pieces, depending on how many people are in the class, or if you're just doing this with one other person, cut it in half. You get the idea. So 5 is the best, 1 is the worst. So you're going to taste the donut. You're going to kind of take in all the flavors. What did you like about this donut? So tell me what you like. Don't just say, I like chocolate. Be really specific about what you liked about this compared to some of the others. Okay. What did you not like about the donut? What is some, meaning, you know, what was like, that made the donut gross. Okay. And then if you were going to change this recipe, what would you change? Okay. And you're going to be doing that for each of the flavors that you taste. Okay. And again, as you think about this, if you come up with other flavors, please share them with your teacher. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.